What is that flavour you got there?
Tropical punch, it says.
KSI and Logan Paul's empire collapsing before our eyes.
Jesus.
Loosely. You've just come from the Maldives.
Now it's like swallowing perfume.
Back in 2023, Prime was everywhere. Like, seriously.
Have created our own drink company.
You couldn't go into a single store without seeing chaos in the drink aisle. Shelves wiped clean, parents going at it like it was a wild Black Friday sale.
Lunchley versus Lunchables.
With Lunchley, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamin.
And kids flashing those colorful bottles like they were holding pure gold. The hype was unreal. Prime pulled in over $1.2 billion in sales.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch.
Yeah!
Scored deals with the UFC, WWE, and even snagged a sponsorship with FC Barcelona. This wasn't just a sports drink anymore. It was a full-blown cultural takeover. Logan Paul and KSI looked unstoppable. Two ex-rivals who somehow turned their online beef into a billion-dollar empire. They literally bottled up internet clout and turned it into money. People were hyping it up like it was the next Gatorade, and some were saying it had already passed it.
But Prime, especially with their marketing we'll talk about, was being marketed as just a low-calorie, tasty coconut water. That's what it is.
And honestly, at the time, that didn't sound crazy at all.
Marketed as such, I don't think there would be a lot of pushback and criticism.
But fast forward just a couple of years,
marketed with professional elite athletes consuming it,
and the story took a wild turn.
Good for you when you're exercising, good for your health, good for your hydration. And so the
hype train crashed hard.
These benefits with hydration that simply don't hold up when you look at the science.
Sales didn't just slow down, they collapsed, and not by a little either. Prime's empire started crumbling fast. We're talking massive drops, over 90% in some markets. Bottles that once resold online for hundreds of dollars were now gathering dust on clearance shelves, tossed into discount bins for less than $1. That billion-dollar dream drink everyone used to chase, it suddenly turned into a joke. The hype flipped fast. Scandals, lawsuits, health warnings, and straight-up greed started piling up like a storm, and Prime couldn't dodge any of it. What started as global hype quickly turned into hesitation and side-eye. The same drink people once fought over was now getting clowned online non-stop. To really understand how wild this fall was, you gotta rewind to the start. When Prime dropped in January 2022, it wasn't just a product launch, it was a cultural explosion. Logan Paul and KSI didn't just sell a drink, they sold a dream to the internet. Two massive creators with worldwide fan bases and a rivalry that defined an era suddenly joining forces. That was history in the making. Logan's announcement video alone went viral instantly, racking up over 8 million views in no time. Kids were literally setting alarms before sunrise just to line up outside corner stores, hoping to grab even one bottle before it sold out. By the end of its first year, Prime had already pulled in a mind-blowing $250 million in revenue. Just 12 months later, that number shot up to over $1.2 billion, making it one of the fastest-growing drink brands ever. Not just in influencer history, in beverage history, period. That's what set Prime apart from everything else out there. This wasn't your average YouTuber cash grab or some short-lived gimmick drink. This was the biggest creator brand ever built. It looked unstoppable, but the rise was so quick, so sky-high, that no one noticed the cracks starting to show underneath all the hype. Right when Prime was sitting at the top of the world, Logan Paul's past came crashing back like a jump scare no one saw coming. Out of nowhere, 𝗳𝗃𝗃𝗴 dropped a 3-part investigation that went viral instantly, tearing into Logan's CryptoZoo project, an NFT game that promised players massive returns, but ended up delivering nothing. The internet lit up with outrage, and suddenly people weren't just questioning Logan's crypto moves, they were starting to question everything connected to his name, including Prime itself. Fans started coming forward with shocking stories, people claiming they lost $25,000, $120,000, and in some cases, even over $500,000. In the investigation, it broke it all down. Missing developers, shady middleman, broken promises, and worst of all, regular fans losing life-changing amounts of money. It was a total disaster. Logan had spent years trying to rebuild his image after the Japan forest scandal, working non-stop to prove he'd changed. He reinvented himself as a responsible creator, a sharp businessman, even a serious athlete. But within just a few weeks, that entire redemption arc went up in flames. And instead of owning up to it, Logan went on the offensive. He actually sued 𝗳𝗽𝗶𝗶𝗶 because nothing says I'm innocent quite like throwing a team of lawyers at a YouTuber doing investigative reporting. The internet went wild with that move, and it only made things worse. Even though the lawsuit eventually got tossed out, the damage was already permanent. Parents weren't just flipping bottles anymore. They were typing into Google things like, "Who is Logan Paul?" and "Is Logan Paul a scammer?" And when your biggest customers are kids and teens, that kind of reputation is toxic. But just when everyone thought Logan was the only one dragging down Prime, things took a darker turn because the brand itself got hit from an even dangerous angle. The political heat turned up fast. Things exploded when Chuck Schumer, one of the most powerful politicians in the U.S., publicly demanded an FDA investigation into Prime Energy. Reporters everywhere were covering it. This morning, New York Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime, which he says is being marketed to children and contains the caffeine equivalent of 6 cans of Coca-Cola. It was a PR nightmare. Schumer's statement sounded simple, but it hit like a bomb. Each can of Prime Energy packed around 200 to 250 milligrams of caffeine, while the flashy branding clearly targeted younger audiences. For comparison, a Coca-Cola only has about 34 milligrams, and Red Bull sits at roughly 80. Even most big-name energy drinks don't push past that 200 mark. Yet here was Prime, plastered all over gamer setups, influencer feeds, viral TikToks, and youth-heavy ads, all screaming energy, hype, and coolness. Schumer didn't hold back. He accused Prime of misleading health claims, influencer marketing aimed at kids, and hiding the real caffeine risks behind flashy colors and internet hype. That single statement flipped public opinion overnight.
Prime went from being the hottest drink on social media to being treated like forbidden juice. Schools started banning it, teachers were confiscating cans, and parents suddenly wanted nothing to do with it. The same drink that had been a status symbol just months earlier was now being labeled as dangerous. Parents started side-eyeing every single bottle like it was a warning label in disguise. Teachers didn't even want students showing up all jittery and wired because they chugged an energy drink before first period. And the wild part? Even Prime Hydration, the non-caffeinated version, couldn't escape the chaos. Nutrition experts began tearing it apart, pointing out how Prime was marketed like some elite sports drink used by top athletes. But when you actually looked at the formula, it didn't live up to the hype at all. Underneath all that flashy branding, it was basically flavored coconut water wrapped in influencer buzz. People felt duped. Then came the taste tests, and that's when things got brutal. Viral reviews started clowning the flavors, calling them artificial, perfumed, or just plain gross. And once the internet turns your product's flavor into a meme, you're done for. Those same bottles that once resold for $100, suddenly they couldn't even move for $2. And once the health concerns hit mainstream news, it was game over. Schools across the US, UK, and Australia started banning Prime completely. What was once the coolest drink in the room became the drink that could literally get you sent to the principal's office. But just when it seemed like Prime couldn't sink any lower, Logan and KSI tried to stage a comeback, and that's when things got even crazier. Logan Paul and KSI tried to pull off the ultimate comeback move, teaming up with MrBeast to launch Lunchley, a pre-packaged meal kit that came with a small meal, a Feastables chocolate bar, and, of course, a Prime drink. On paper, it sounded like a genius power play, brand stacking at peak. 3 of the biggest creator empires in one shiny box. What could possibly go wrong, right? But the internet didn't buy it for a second. The backlash hit immediately. Dan TDM came out swinging, accusing them of exploiting young audiences for profit. His post exploded across social media, racking up millions of views and sparking a full-blown debate.
Then Dr. Mike jumped in, breaking down the nutrition facts and revealing that one Lunchley meal only had around 230 calories, way below what a growing kid actually needs for a proper lunch. To hit normal nutrition levels, kids would need to eat multiple kits, which raised even more questions about sodium, sugar, and whether this whole campaign crossed an ethical line. Instead of saving Prime's crumbling reputation, Lunchley just added more fire to the controversy. What was supposed to be a major business flex ended up as one of the worst PR disasters of the year. And to make things worse, the timing couldn't have been more brutal. Prime was already hanging by a thread when this dropped. By this point, Prime was already losing its spark, not because of one scandal, but because hype culture moves lightning fast, and kids move even faster. What's cool one minute becomes old news the next. Once Prime slipped out of the spotlight, there was nothing underneath to keep it standing. Then Lunchley flopped, the crypto zoo drama came crawling back, and suddenly both Logan and KSI became the punchline of internet jokes. The empire that once looked untouchable started crumbling in real time. Prime didn't look like a billion-dollar powerhouse anymore. It looked like a hype experiment gone completely off the rails. By 2024, things went from bad to straight-up legal trouble. A class-action lawsuit dropped, claiming that Prime's grape flavor allegedly contained traces of certain industrial chemicals way above safe limits. Whether that claim turns out true or not didn't even matter. The headline alone hit like a bomb. Parents freaked out overnight. Stores began yanking Prime off their shelves, and sales absolutely plummeted. Reports said revenue in some markets tanked from around $12 million to barely $3 million. That's a collapse no brand walks away from easily. Overall, profits nosedived by more than 90%, and in the US alone, early 2024 numbers showed sales were down by about 40%. What was once the fastest growing drink in the world had suddenly become the biggest cautionary tale in the game. By 2025, Prime wasn't selling out anymore, it was being cleared out. Bottles were flooding into dollar stores, clearance bins, and discount racks like leftover hype no one wanted. And when you really break it down, most people never actually loved the drink, they loved the craze. Kids bought it because everyone else was doing it. Once the buzz disappeared, there was zero loyalty left, just like those fidget spinner days. When the trend dies, the product vanishes. Then things got even messier. KSI got pulled into his own crypto scandal. Out of nowhere, 𝗳𝗿𝗶𝗴 dropped another investigation claiming KSI promoted a crypto project, hyped it up big time, and then allegedly sold off around $150,000 worth of tokens right after. The wallet activity didn't lie, and fans felt straight up betrayed. Now both founders of Prime were tied to crypto controversies, and the public completely lost faith in the brand. The same duo who once stood as the faces of internet success were now seen as walking PR disasters. And just when it couldn't possibly get worse, the storm started brewing inside Prime itself. In late 2024, one of Prime's major manufacturing partners, Refresco, one of the largest beverage bottlers in the world, filed a massive lawsuit against them. The brand that once ruled the shelves was now getting crushed from every direction. Outside scandals, lost trust, and lawsuits from within. Refresco came out swinging, accusing Prime's parent company of unpaid bills, broken promises, and fake growth projections that painted a picture way brighter than reality. According to the lawsuit, Prime had agreed to purchase at least 18.5 million cases per year under a 3-year deal, which pushed Refresco to pour millions into custom machinery and production lines just to keep up.
But when demand suddenly tanked, Prime allegedly just walked away, leaving Refresco holding the bag. That's when Refresco dropped a $68 million lawsuit, and reports say other suppliers started lining up with similar complaints. The dominoes were falling fast. Then came the moment that truly embarrassed Prime on a global scale. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic committees sued them for trademark infringement. They accused Prime of using protected phrases like Olympic Team USA and going for gold in their marketing without permission. Basically, Prime was being accused of riding the Olympic name for clout without being an official sponsor, a massive legal no-no that made the brand look reckless and desperate. At this point, it wasn't just a fallen drink brand, it was a full-blown business cautionary tale. Prime didn't crash because the internet got bored, it crashed because trust was broken, shortcuts were taken, and controversy never stopped stacking.
What started as one of the boldest success stories in creator history ended up as a brutal reminder of what happens when hype runs out and accountability never shows up. By late 2025, Prime wasn't just out of stores, it was out of the culture completely. The same drink that once had kids lining up at dawn was now sitting untouched in clearance aisles, a faded symbol of what happens when the internet moves on. The logo that once screamed success now looked like a warning sign for creators who thought hype could last forever. Logan Paul and KSI had gone quiet, both focusing on separate ventures, but the shadow of Prime still followed them everywhere. Interviews, podcasts, social posts, no matter where they showed up, the comments were always the same. What happened to Prime? The brand name had turned into a meme, and not the kind that sells. Investors bailed, sponsors ghosted, and the once loyal fan base drifted to the next shiny trend. New influencers, new drinks, new hype to chase. What was left behind was a business shell, a perfect storm of ego, bad timing, and burnout. The empire built on buzz had collapsed under its own weight. But in a strange way, Prime became something bigger than just a failed drink. It became a lesson, a modern reminder that internet fame burns fast, and when the clout fades, the truth hits hard. It showed the whole world that no amount of followers, sponsorships, or viral moments can save a brand that forgets what really matters: trust. Prime didn't just vanish, it became a digital ghost story, one that every influencer brand will remember before chasing their next big launch. Even with all the chaos, lawsuits, and public meltdowns, Prime's story didn't disappear, it became legendary. The drink may have fizzled out, but the impact it left behind reshaped how the world looks at influencer businesses forever. For a moment, two internet icons managed to turn pure hype into a billion-dollar brand, and then watched it all crumble right in front of millions. By 2026, Prime was being used in marketing classes, business documentaries, and online case studies as the perfect example of how fast fame can flip. Professors called it the influencer economy's cautionary tale, while journalists described it as a social media empire that drowned in its own buzz. The brand's rise and fall showed the world exactly what happens when clout outweighs credibility. Fans moved on, but the memory of Prime stayed alive through memes, old bottles sold on eBay, and endless internet threads debating who was really to blame. Some said it was greed, others said it was burnout, but everyone agreed. Prime changed the game, for better and for worse. Logan and KSI tried to reinvent themselves, distancing their names from the brand, but the ghost of Prime still lingered in every interview, every tweet, every comment section. No one forgot how massive it was, or how fast it fell. Prime's legacy? A powerful reminder that viral fame can build an empire, but trust, honesty, and patience are what keep it standing. In the end, Prime didn't just fail, it taught the internet what failure at the top really looks like. Logan Paul and KSI didn't just hurt their brand, they straight up sabotaged it. Prime had all the ingredients to become a decade-long empire: global reach, loyal fans, and unstoppable momentum. But instead, it turned into one of the fastest and loudest brand collapses the internet has ever seen. What started as a dream partnership between two of YouTube's biggest stars became a business tragedy fueled by ego, shortcuts, and non-stop controversy. Prime wasn't taken down by one big mistake, it was death by 1,000 viral moments. Every scandal, every lawsuit, every bad headline chipped away until the empire finally cracked. In the end, Prime became proof that hype alone can't hold up a product forever. Once the excitement fades, the only thing left standing is the truth, and the truth hit hard. What could have been a long-lasting legacy instead turned into a cautionary tale every influencer will study before chasing the next big thing. Prime was more than just a drink, it was a mirror for the internet itself. Fast, flashy, and unforgiving. If you enjoyed this full breakdown, make sure to drop a comment and tell me what you think about the Prime collapse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who remembers the insane Prime hype days. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.